So I'm going to talk about Bitcoin. I'm going to talk about Ethereum. We'll then talk about what I think might happen next. You know, are we ready for a breakout here to higher prices, back up into this price floor perhaps? Or is this just going to deviate and we're going to be range bound? But first, we got to give a real quick shout out to the sponsors of the stream, Prime XBT. They are the only thing, other than my excellent trading, they're the only thing keeping me eating during this bear market. As you guys know, if you use the link in the description, you sign up and then you use code Mayne50 and deposit some money on there, I get a kickback. I'm being completely transparent with you. That's how I'm getting compensated by Prime. I get a kickback on deposits. So if you want to support me, you like what I'm sharing on here, it's all for free for you guys. Do me a favor, sign up to Prime, deposit some money using my link and that deposit code. That's the best way you can support me. But if you want to help me out, you appreciate what I do, that's how you do it. All the info on how to join can be found in the description of this video, or you can go to my website, www.tradermayne.com, for info on how to join Prime and also how to get into my Discord. With that out of the way, let's get into the charts here. So I'm gonna pull up a tweet here because we got to collect that clout. That's what we're going to start the stream off with, as usual. It's not even just about the clout. I just want to show you guys the thought process here, right? So we were having this initial sell-off here on Bitcoin, and I drew out this order block here, and I said, please give relief. Wanted to see us get a reaction here. This is that same order block here, and as you can see, we got that reaction. So if you've been following along on the streams, we initially longed here, okay? We longed this with a goal of running up to here. Right? This was the eventual target. But then when we came up here and we SFP'd, I closed my longs. What I saw then forming, and the reason why I like this order block, is we never retested it, but we did generate some liquidity right above it. So if you notice, this is the down candle that caused this up move. What did we leave here? We left an untouched swing low, right? So once I saw that and us trade back into this order block, which we had not tagged yet, I said, okay, if we're able to get back above this swing low, I'm pretty confident that this then trades higher and takes out this, because this is support. This is the obvious draw to the upside, and we've now run anyone who was long on this initial move up. They're now stopped out here, because think about it from a risk management perspective. If you were longing this, where's your stop? It's likely here. Let's assume you long this, okay? Once this moves away, goes up, makes another leg, you probably bring your stop up to here. That would be how I would do it, right? So if I was long from down here, I would have trailed my stop up to here. Or if I long this move, once we start moving away, this becomes your very clear area of invalidation. Because if we go below there, you're wrong. So generally, an area where people get stopped out can oftentimes be a really good entry. I'm sure you've seen that sometimes on Twitter before. People will be like, sometimes the best entries are, you know, where your stop would have gone. This is a good example of that. We came into support, we ran a key swing low, and then we reclaimed, okay? So that was my logic for getting long in this. We also had an SFP and all the things that we generally want to see trading my system to get bullish happened in this order block. What are the tick boxes? Key level, right? Check. Previous all-time high. Now what are we looking for? An order block. Got that here. What else are we looking for? A bias. What is our bias? Well, my bias is we've sold off extremely hard. I'm looking for a relief rally and a potential higher low. So my bias is bullish. Now, what's the next thing? Entry, risk management, and target, right? So the actual entry, the setup, those are the things you want, right? Your trading checklist, right? So I'm looking for relief here. We're at high time frame support. We've got the order block near high time frame support. My bias is I'm looking for longs in here. Now we need to do the entry setup. That happens for me on the lower time frame. It can, however, be done on the high time frame. You could have entered this a few ways. First opportunity here, you have your order block entry. So you're just entering as soon as it tags the order block. Your stop goes below the order block. First target is this high. Not the best risk reward, but remember, we're on the 12-hour chart here. Okay, second target, I think probably up here. So that's almost 2R. First target, 1.35. That's just based on the basic order block entry on the 12-hour chart. Personally, I like to refine my entry by either finding a tighter stop on the same time frame, which I'll explain in a second, or going down to a lower time frame so I can get into the nitty-gritty and try and get that invalidation a lot closer, because I don't really want my invalidation to be all the way here. The second 12-hour setup that I see here is the SFP. You have a swing low, right here. You have a low, a low, a low, a higher low. That is a swing low. We trade below it and then back above. As soon as this candle closes, you now have a valid 12-hour bullish swing failure pattern. Why is this one relevant? Context, high time frame support, order block, bias, all those things ticked off mean that when I'm looking for my entry in this area, it has a higher probability of working out. That's what I'm trying to train you guys to learn. You can find SFPs all over the charts. You can find order blocks all over the chart. Pattern recognition is important, but it's only one piece of the puzzle. The other more important piece is context. Where is that pattern forming? If a bullish SFP forms at the range high, is that the proper context, or is the bullish SFP forming in a bullish order block at the range low? Perhaps better context. That's what I mean when you want to go through those things. And then the last thing you're looking for is that entry setup. The entry setup only is relevant if all of these things are dialed in. If I'm looking for bullish entry setups, but I'm at resistance, my high time frame view is bearish, and I'm within a bearish order block, a bullish setup isn't going to do me very much good up there, right? The context doesn't line up. So we have a 12-hour SFP here. So you literally could enter this as soon as that candle closes. Your risk is the low of the SFP. That same target right here, that's a huge fucking trade. Personally, I did not enter based on this SFP. I actually entered on the retest here of this candle. So I entered here, same stop below the SFP low, because that's where the idea is wrong. But once we moved away and I saw that buyers were stepping in, I said the next pullback I'm buying. We pulled back right into another order block and that SFP candle, that raid candle, all in one, boom, it gave you the setup. So that's what this entire setup was based on, just on the 12-hour. Now, can you refine this even more? Absolutely. You could go down to the hourly and you could say, okay, well, the breaker, the down move here that ran that low, this is that SFP, it's right here. So that's refined even more. Now we've refined it from the 12-hour where your stop had to be down here, down to the hourly. And now you have your invalidation here below that breaker. I'm not saying you have to enter this here. You could also still have put your stop here, but it's that top-down analysis that I'm showing you. I'm determining my bias and all that bullshit on the high time frame, and then when I'm dialing in and looking for those entry patterns, breakers, swing failure patterns, over-unders, all that shit only is relevant if the high time frame context allows for it. I gave you guys the context. Order block, high time frame level, my bias, relief, I'm looking for a bounce. And I added another piece of confluence in that the S&P was also at an area of support. And we know the correlation between the two has been very strong, right? Next chart, we came in, boom, we got an initial reaction from our area. Again, updated it again, marked out the 12-hour SFP. I actually have my setup here. There's the 12-hour SFP. There's the retest. There's the target. So I'm just like, in these videos, it's much easier for me to break things down to like a more granular level of detail because I'm better at speaking than I am at writing. And I also don't need to share every fucking thing on Twitter. There's only so many characters, right? But everything that I just explained in detail there is all in this thread. There's the key level, right? Target, bias, area we want to do business. And I even marked out the SFP. I marked out the retest. It was all there. And then finally, obviously, Bitcoin came through, hit the target. So hopefully some of you guys followed along with that and made some money, but that's exactly how I got into this trade. Oh, and I'm going to show you one more thing here. One more piece of alpha. Key level, watch this. Order block, key low. So rather than using this for the entry, we're going to use this. We have a key low here that we ran. This is an over-under play. Going to be clear on the low time frame too, but you have the order block. So instead of entering based on this shit down here, you say, okay, this is a key low that we ran. If we reclaim this low, I'm going to long. My risk is the move below the low. So the idea is that the move below the low was the deviation. If we get back above, I'm long. So how does that look in terms of a setup? We traded below, candle closed above, you buy the next retest. So we buy the next retest, which would have been in this candle. Your stop goes below the deviation, target here. That would have been another setup that you could have played. That's just based on the 12 hours. So this is effectively just a over-under play. The over-under, the low, lower low, higher low, the over-under, the head and shoulders, the fucking whatever you want to call it. Maybe it's Maybelline. Whatever you want to call it, the Quasimodo, there's lots of names for it. That's exactly it right there. You have a key low, traded below it, reclaimed it. This is your entry. This is your risk. Target, boom. So that's another setup that played out, and you can refine this as well on the hourly. You have that key low. Once we traded back above the key low here, so we went below it, once we started trading back above here, you can now be looking for bullish setups on any of these pullbacks. So let's say maybe you said, okay, we're back above here. Maybe you want to long this fractal of the bigger over under, key low, lower low, higher low, entry here, stop here, or any of these pullbacks into the order blocks here. All valid. This is a breaker. Why am I looking for these bullish setups now on the hourly? And why are they playing out? Because my context is bullish. My high time frame context is telling me to look for longs down here. SFP. There's tons of setups that are forming here. SFP. Order block that are playing out. But the reason they're playing out is because my high time frame context is telling me that this is where I want to be looking for longs. Obviously, if we do something like, a move up here and then completely nuke back below these levels, I'm now bearish. The inverse of this. There's your key level. There's your deviation. Now you're looking to short, right? It's the inverse of this. There's your key level, deviation. Now you're long. All right, so Ethereum printed effectively the exact same setup. And again, all my levels, fucking money. The best fucking levels. Effectively the exact same setup here. Key low, order block near a key high time frame level, trade below, back above, move up. You also had an opportunity for a retest. Where did price give you a retest? Right at that previous monthly close all-time high level. That's where the all-time high monthly candle closed, not the previous all-time high. Low time frame, there's absolutely a bullish setup forming on that level. We're already in an uptrend. We already got the huge reaction down here. There's your key level. We're bull biased. Here's like a little order block entry. Here's an SFP. Here's another order block. There's entries that formed around this area, but you're a little late to the game. But I mean, if you long from here to here, if you long this, same thing, right? Key low, lower low, higher low, over under, Quasimodo, whatever the fuck you want to call it, head and shoulders. But why is it relevant? It's just a random setup on the hourly. It's because the high time frame told us that we're bullish down here. And then we got the uptrend. We got confirmation that it wants to go higher, and we have a key SR level here. Where do setups form? At key levels, right? Same thing. You long here, stop here. Target resistance. This is a nice little move. So even if you didn't long the bottom, if you got long from here to here, right, you're probably pretty happy. 10% move plus. So Ethereum, very similar setup. 12 hour didn't give you an SFP, but it gave you the same over under, right? Low, lower low, higher low. And it did give you some hourly setups down here. SFP, bullish order blocks, all the kind of stuff that we look for. There's your bullish order block, down candle before the up move, retested, never came back, all the way up. So Ethereum played out exact same as Bitcoin. Pick your poison. Mayne, how do you know to long Ethereum or Bitcoin? There's literally a chart that will tell you. So when you say, okay, on July 3rd, I want to long either Bitcoin or Ethereum based on reasons X, Y, and Z, you have your setups forming. Why not go look on July 3rd at what Ethereum BTC is doing? And if on July 3rd, Ethereum BTC looks like this, it's come in, it's had a huge sell-off, it's put in a low, a high, a higher low, a higher high, and now it's into a bullish order block and it's moving away. So if you had to long either Bitcoin or Ethereum on July 3rd, and Ethereum BTC looks like this, the one that you're gonna wanna long is obviously Ethereum because it's outperforming Bitcoin because this chart is in an uptrend. That's how you use these ratios, and that's how you decide which pair is gonna give you that asymmetric upside. So I did the same thing with Solana, right? I said, okay, on July 3rd, right here, Solana has been outperforming Bitcoin. So why don't I want to long something that is having a more bullish reaction versus Bitcoin? You can look the same thing versus Ethereum, right? Solana has been outperforming Ethereum for the last month plus, right? So why would I not long this instead of Bitcoin? I ended up longing Bitcoin and Solana, but you want to look at those ratios. So if you had to choose between ETH and BTC, based on how BTC looked, ETH was the obvious play, and that's why it outperformed. Now, stock market, we had the same setup for him here. 12-hour order block, came into it. I still think we might be able to push for that high. I'm not sure. We're into resistance here. So the reason I'm not getting overly excited yet about like we're going to 30K is because look, this could very easily print an SFP here. And if you look on the lower time frame, if we do something like this, right? Like if we do something like this, okay, it's a very, SZ loves this setup like this, right? He'll have something like this on his page, I guarantee. But if this 12-hour closes how it closes, soon as we start breaking below this consolidation, I think you can start shorting it with your stop here, at least down to like here, right? At least down back towards 20K. So the reason I'm not convinced we're ready to break out yet is because let's see how this candle closes. We're coming up onto the weekend. The stock market is into resistance, from support to resistance. And look at the fucking dollar. A bull market does not happen when the dollar looks like this. Okay, we broke out of a multi-year range to the upside. This is the highest the dollar has been since the year 2002. 20 years. We're making fresh highs. So a bull market does not occur in this environment. It does not mean we can't rally higher, but the macro is not giving us any inclination that it is time yet. So with the dollar looking like this, stocks still not looking great, right? Like we're in a support, sure. I'm not just inclined to assume the bottom is in. Can we have a bear market rally? Absolutely. But from a macro perspective, still lots to be worried about. Let's see how this 12-hour closes. If this 12-hour closes as an SFP, this 12-hour candle closes in 2 hours. In 2 hours, if this candle closes as an SFP, I'm going to be looking for this kind of setup here. My risk is going to be here, and I'm going to be looking for us to break below this consolidation. If we do that, I'm going to be looking to short a pullback, stop there, target, probably down into here. So we'll see. I already caught the long from here to here. So I don't care if we go up here now. Because to me, if we get above 22,500, the upside is massive. I'm okay hedging or looking to short or at least just taking profit on account that we might do this. And I don't want to round trip all of these profits I just made. I'd rather lock in the money. And then if we get bullish above here, I relong. Or if we end up SFPing, I can short, and I've locked in my money and I'm not round tripping, right? This guy says Mayne is love, Mayne is life. I think that's Shrek, but thank you. I'm the GOAT. I'm the GOAT with a sore throat. Shit fucking rhymed. Who's doing it like me? Nobody. Nobody. Nobody knows. We know my neck is thick. We know my arms are big. And we know I'm a goblin who survives on clout. What pants are you wearing? None. I'm ungovernable. You only turn 32 once, and what do you do when you turn 32? You go to a fucking rave, because clearly I haven't grown up yet. Hopefully that fucking makes sense. If it doesn't, you're better off following me on TikTok, because your IQ level is just not high enough. The comments I get on TikTok are unbelievable. Brain's very smooth, like a fucking bowling ball. If a TikTok is a mirror into the future generations and what we have in store, we are absolutely fucked. Further, boys? Why not? Almost forgot. Motherfucker got crazy. Get help. Get help. Stop it. You fucking son of a bitch. Maybe dry scooping creatine while I'm sick for the stream was not a good idea. No, I said I'm the GOAT with a sore throat. I did not say I'm the throat goat. How do you determine order block? Jane, go fuck yourself with that question. Is this a joke that I'm missing? If you guys start calling me the throat goat, I'm gonna fucking delete my account. I swear to God. Is there a mod in the chat? We need to ban Jane. You asked some of the dumbest fucking questions. I've literally aged with how much cortisol I've expended reading the questions that you fucking leave. It's unbelievable, Jane. Jesus Christ. Are we in a bear market? I don't know. Do you think that this candle, after what's happened here, means we are no longer in a bear market? Jesus fucking Christ, Jane. Jane, you need to follow me on TikTok. I think you're gonna get along better with my audience on TikTok. You might even be considered smart based on some of the people that comment on my fucking TikTok. Stop calling me throat goat. We're not letting this be a thing. All right, you fuckers. I hate you all. Please pray for me to get healthy. Everyone just please pray for fucking Jane, because oh my God, she has to find a way to survive another day with literally single digit brain cells. I don't know. I'm worried about her. Please stop calling me throat goat. If I could have anything for my birthday, stop saying that, please.